What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. I'm bringing you a video for May 24th, 2024. So just want to say sorry. I don't know how I missed the video last night. I'm recording other videos right now for something that I'm building. So I was just in recording mode and I got everything done, but for whatever reason, I forgot the YouTube video. So sorry about that. Not entirely sure why that slipped my mind, but back for you guys tonight. So that's a weird one, ruining my streak on YouTube again, which is not good for the algorithm, but it is what it is. Live and you learn. So that's kind of the background story for why I wasn't here. But regardless, last night was whatever. Anyway, we took what's his face? Jaden McDaniels, couldn't think of his name. Jaden McDaniels under threes, and he had just an absolutely career night. He led scoring on the Timberwolves, and he made I think he had like 6 or 7 threes, which was just ridiculous. He was shooting out of his mind. So it is what it is on that one. But regardless, coming at you guys tonight with another 3-pick parlay. We're locking in on sleeper. I don't know why. Don't get me wrong. Like, I'm expecting this to be gone any second now, literally, but it's Thursday and they still have the $500 up instead of the 100. They were warning us all last week that it was going to 100. So if it's there and you guys still haven't done it, you might as well use my code IOPICKS, but it literally is probably going to go away tomorrow now that I say it like that, but it's still up. So if you guys haven't, use my code IOPICKS. They'll match you up to $500. It's going back down to 100. So if you guys are able to match over 100 right now, there's literally no reason why you should not. It's free money. It's going away. So do what you can with that. If you guys are new, obviously use my code, but you can also tie on Carl Anthony Towns. I don't know why I can't talk right now. Cat over 0.5 points. It's a free line for all new users. That'll make this probably like a 6x multiplier, maybe like 5 something. But it'll be pretty juicy for you. We're not tying that on today. We're just doing three regular lines, but if you guys have it, use it. So that's what we got going on. I'm just going to get into the picks. Stop wasting time. First one, we got Daniel Gafford over 7.5 points. So this is it's strictly a minute play. It's kind of weird because Gafford and Lively are like somewhat splitting time. They're each getting around like 20-ish minutes a game. If we look down at his last 10, he's averaging around 22. He got 21 in the first game, which is good. He's gone for 27. It really kind of just is game dependent. It could be fouls, it could be matchups, whatever it is. They're kind of going to switch around, Lively and Gafford. But if we look at his history, he's got 9 for his last 10. In game 1, he hit 10. And I just expect them to continue. If you guys saw what happened in the last game, Dallas put up 62 points in the paint against Minnesota, who their whole thing is that they got crazy big, good big men, and they're going to be able to lock down people, especially when they're at home. They're supposed to be a really tough home team, and Gafford and Lively blew it up. I think they had 20 points just off of dunks alone. So Gafford got 10. I'm not sure exactly what Lively got, but he definitely got over his points as well. So I expect them to continue to try and do that. One of my other plays kind of has to do with this as well. You'll see what I'm saying in that it's going to be the third pick. But it worked for them very well going into Minnesota. And they were basically close the entire way around. Luka had a pretty slow start. It was Kyrie was the one that was kind of leading the charge in the beginning. But then Luka came back in the second. So I think that they're going to kind of continue to do the same game plan just because it works so well against Minnesota. And if that's the case, then both Gafford and Lively are going to be pretty involved. We just really like his history on it, 9 out of his last 10 in the playoffs. So that's what we're doing. Only need 8 out of him. Not a crazy ask out of him. But again, if he gets close to that, like 22, let's call it 20-plus minute mark in this game, it should be perfectly fine. So we're taking that for the first one. Second one, just easy money. PJ's line got lowered a little bit. I believe it was like maybe 6.5 or 7.5 after a couple of these games when he was going off. They raised the line. So we've stayed away from the 4+ alt line, but they lowered it back to 5.5. So we're taking the 4+. It's a 2-board discount, 97% over his last 30. He's hit it in every single game in the playoffs. I don't really need to say much more. PJ's playing pretty well, so we can easily expect him to get 40+ or 4+. That's Not a worry at all. That'll be sweat free. Last one, Ant under 27.5 points. This is a sketchy line. Yes, I get it. But again, we kind of have to pay attention to how the Mavs played this game and how Minnesota reacted. So they're used to the Timberwolves are used to bigs playing up on them the past couple of series, but now that they're dropping back, they're basically Ant had, I think, 12 attempts. Let's see. Yeah, 12 attempts from three, and he only hit 5. He still missed the line, putting up 12 threes. He wasn't shooting very well, but the fact that he's putting up 12 attempts, he's shooting from the outside because they're giving him those types of looks, and they weren't utilizing the inside because, I mean, Dallas is just down in the paint, so it was just a whole different look for them. They probably weren't necessarily really expecting them to play like that, but it just messed up their entire offense. So, I mean, Ant only got 19 points, which is, I mean, kind of a blessing considering he did put up 12 threes. But I just think that if they actually figure out how to run the off, I mean, Jaden McDaniels was the leading scorer. So it's like, it was a weird one. But if they can actually get the offense moving how they're supposed to and utilize their bigs, because their bigs can, I mean, they got Cat. Like I don't know if anyone just forgot about Cat, but Cat's one of the best bigs in the league as a power forward. And usually he'll play the 4. But they can utilize both Cat and Rudy down low and dominate in the paint because Dallas just doesn't have good big men. That's like their main thing that they're lacking. So if we can just fix the Timberwolves offense and get the production going through the bigs, I think that it's only going to lower Ant's production. I mean, he was one of the main weapons in the last game. He just started really slow, but I mean, 12 threes and still didn't cash it. I think that if he actually gets some mid-range shots and gets going and then opens things up for the bigs, the offense will work a lot better. And it's just going to take further production away from him because the bigs didn't really do much at all. So that's kind of my thought process on this. It's an 11 for 30 as well. So you kind of also have to keep that in mind. He had multiple games where he just went off in that Phoenix series, and then also the one against Denver when they really needed him in that game, and so he produced. But so that's like it's a sketchy line because of his ceiling and its Ant in playoffs. But he was also dogging it too. I don't know if you guys watched the game or not, but he was out of breath consistently. Part of that is probably have to do with Kyrie, just because Kyrie's an animal and guarding him the entire game is going to be a difficult task. But I just think that if they can actually get their offense go, which I think they're probably going to take this game, if they can make adjustments and get their offense going through their bigs again, then I just feel like 27.5 is still too high if production goes through them. The risk here is if they don't learn from it, or for whatever reason, Dallas just continues to dominate in the paint and they're not allowing Minnesota's bigs to get open, or if they're just contesting them really well, then that is the risk here where Ant could take over the game and get over the 27.5. But I just think that if they want to win this, they're going to have to play it smarter. And it's just going to be a different offensive look than what we saw in the first game. So it's always kind of weird going into game ones, especially in these matchups, just because there's a lot of unknowns with playoff basketball and how they're going to scheme and whatever. But now that we got a game under our belt, and we're still in the same arena, they're in Minnesota, I think that we're going to have a better idea on how this game is going to go. And I just think that if they actually want to win this and be competitive, that they're going to have to facilitate the ball a little bit more and not have Jaden McDaniels be the number one scorer. I think that Cat will probably take over a little bit in this game because just what I mentioned, they're trying to get bigs involved. So if you want to look for some Cat overs as well, that's cool. But I'm taking this Ant under. Little risky one. I hate saying that because I love Ant too. He's my man. But I just don't think that they're going to be able to win with that type of offense, and they're going to need to correct it. So that's kind of my thought process on this. A little bit of a deeper dive into that one than most of these legs, but I was really doing some homework on that, and I think that's a good play. So we got Daniel Gafford over 7.5 points, assuming he gets his minutes. I'm not really worried about this at all. PJ Washington, sweat free. It's 4+. I wish there was a little bit more juice on it, but it is what it is. Just a profit patter. We're still over 3x in this, so it's all good. And then Anthony Edwards under 27.5 points. It's a risky one. I hate saying it out loud, but I think that based on my description, it should be a relatively comfortable play. We'll see how he comes out in the first half. That's going to be a big teller. So a little risky, but got to risk it to get the biscuit, baby. that's what we got going on for today's video, guys. I will be back at you tomorrow for Saturday's games. Is that right? What day is it today? Yeah, it's Thursday. So this is for Friday. All mixed up right now. But I will do that. I'm probably not going to get you guys a player prop shop video for tomorrow either. I am just a very, very busy man right now. You guys will see why. I am cooking with gas right now. I can't wait to show you guys what I've been working on. We're doing a whole bunch of different things over here, actually. So it's not just one thing that I'm working on, it's multiple. So very excited for that, but I will catch you guys up to speed once that's finished. I am building in silence right now. I've learned the hard way in the past that if you tell people what you're doing before you actually finish it, then most of the time you won't even finish it, actually. But it just doesn't have the same pizzazz. So I'll give you the finished product when I'm done with it. But that's what I got going on. I will see you guys. I can't talk today. What's going on? I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.